there's no use in going into City Hall. There's no use in calling my elected officials, emailing. They don't care. They don't listen, and they get angry with you, if you share your opinion that's different from theirs. So. That needs to change. The like you were talking about, it's very hard to control what happens in Tallahassee or at the national level, but the local level, it's it should be the government that's closest to the people. And when it's not, it just needs to change. Not many good people run for office. A lot of people run for office for the wrong reasons, and just more good people need to get in there. I know that a lot of people don't want to get in politics, but more good people need to throw their hat into the ring.
Yeah, and I also think it's important to note that for so very long, and again, I equate this as the Bernie/Trump effect that happened in the summer of 2015, where a lot of people had their sort of political odyssey, if you will. They really got woken up to the ills of the actual system. And again, a lot of it starts at the local level. And let's be honest, a lot of the people that are involved in politics, whether in Hollywood or throughout Broward County, they've been in politics for a hell of a lot longer than 2015. And so when people start waking up and they start questioning, well, how come you're taking thousands upon thousands of dollars from this developer who wants to destroy our ocean front? And they're all looking around like, well, this is just how we've always done it.
It's just how it works here.
We're open for business. Why are you even questioning us? Why are you getting in the way of progress in their eyes? And one of the commissioners,
this
who
is
I will
great.
not name,
we're not going to name names,
actually said that, oh, so who cares if I take $500 from this person or $1,000 from that person? They don't control me. No, but it sure looks like they do when your votes land exactly where they want them to. So that, to me, I think speaks to the greater issue here. Again, Hollywood is not that much different from other areas, but Hollywood is a great example of an area that really had it under control for a while, but now it's completely out of control.
Yeah.
And it's getting to the point now where, you're going to wonder if it's going to ultimately really push out the entire local community, to the extent that this is going to turn into just like any other town that doesn't have the local small businesses, that doesn't have that real old school Florida feeling, like a North Miami, for example, would be another good comparison. I think that it's in real danger, and you even said so, or I think I saw the sides, don't Sunny Isles our Hollywood.
Right.
And I think that's a great comparison. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, almost, I would say 100% of Hollywood residents, whether you're east, west, left, right, all say the same thing. We do not want our beach to turn into Sunny Isles. It seems universal and something that our residents really, really care about. I meet residents who are very pro-development, who, build the skyscrapers in downtown, build this, build that, but don't mess with our beach. Like, our beach is sacred, and that's just one thing that seems universal to everyone. You don't mess with the beach. And that one particular property we're talking about is not even private land. It was public land. 3 acres were deeded to the city for parks, recreation, open space, public use. And the other acre, which I discovered was bought with land and water conservation funds, federally protected. That acre was not supposed to be touched without permission from the National Park Service. Did they tell anyone? No, I had to bring that to the federal government's attention. So, it's just, that particular piece of property in particular, just completely wrong, the wrong property, and just a total insult to residents. I don't think the city really knew how strongly the public felt about especially that particular piece of property. And it woke a lot of people up. And if they're going to do it to that property, they're going to do it to any property. And I've seen now, it's almost like that property put up a green flag to developers that Hollywood doesn't care about their beach heights. A lot of our beach is still zoned for 65 feet, and some more developers have come in saying, oh, well, it says 65, but why don't you let me build it 240 feet? And now they're trying to use the Live Local Act. Somebody bought a whole block of property by the Neptune motel, and they want to use the Live Local Act there. So, it's once you say yes to one, I've seen developers say, well, you let that one go big, why don't we do? And it's like dominoes down the whole beach, and that's how it starts. So you just have to, we have to protect what's sacred to us. And, green spaces are barrier islands. They're just certain properties that you ruin it forever.
Yeah. So we'll talk politics for 1 second. So when I was running, one of the things that I did regularly was go to all the community association meetings. I went to basically every neighborhood, whether it's Driftwood or North Beach or Point Sienna Park, or I've been to all of them. Okay. Like I've been to all the community association meetings. And there is a tale of two Hollywoods. And the tale of two Hollywoods is very, very blatant to me. Because, for example, hypothetical example, you go to the meeting, let's say at the North Beach Community Association, and the mayor is sitting there. You go to the community association at Driftwood, he's not hanging out over there. So as somebody running for the whole city, I think it's really important to note that not everybody is in concern with, like, people, let's say certain districts in Hollywood are not as concerned with other districts in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to civic associations all around the city, and I've noticed that certain people are noticeably absent. But as a mayor, I feel like the mayor should be a full-time job, especially a city this big, 153,000 people.
Yes.
I think it's really hard to hold down a business, a law practice, a car dealership, what have you, and still be everywhere in the city and know what's going on and be able to go to all these meetings. So
wait.
I mean,
Wait. He does that? I didn't really realize that.
No, but that's what I intend to do. So,
he has all those, like, I didn't realize that. And just hypothetically, like, or just curiously, what is a salary for somebody that does that? Like, what is the salary for that?
For a mayor?
Yeah.
Do you mayor pays $43,000 a year.
Right. Okay. So yeah. It's a stipend. It's nothing that really you realistically not in Florida could really live on,
not in Hollywood.
No, which is why politics is meant to keep people out of serving in that capacity that aren't like privileged people to be able to even do that job.
Well, it's the same problem in Tallahassee.
But Kat's right. It is a full-time job. And the way that they keep it that way and keep it like this sort of, it's almost like instead of running the show, it's just being like a queen or a figurehead when it needs to be somebody who's really running shit.
Well, it's not necessarily, I mean, we do have a city manager that runs things and runs our departments. However,
about that too.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to properly be in touch with all districts in the city and be able to relay those concerns and what's happening in all areas of the city to the city manager and make sure that it's all being done and be able to check up on that, I think it should be a full-time job. So, I mean, one of the agreements that I have with my job is that I'm going to resign if when I get elected, and I'm going to do this, full time. So that was a big conversation with my husband too, because that's obviously a huge pay cut. But I think to be able to do that properly and I want to put everything into it. And I think our city deserves that. I think our city, many districts have been neglected for many years. And I want to make sure that I give proper, attention to all areas of the city. I would love to make it easier for people to run and serve in office. I think it's really important for the average Joe to be able to, be a mayor or a commissioner and not go bankrupt and be able to pay their bills. I don't.
Well, a good start is nighttime commission meetings so that working people can attend them.
I was just about to get into that. I mean, we're one of only, I did this research because I brought it up to the city, we're only one of, I think, 2 cities in Broward and maybe almost in the whole state that holds their meetings in the middle of the workday.
District 25. It must be like a northern city or something out of district, but most of them are nighttime meetings, hands down.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult for a resident to go to a meeting at 1:00 in the afternoon, and then they say, well, we do our citizen comments at 5. Okay, but it's 5 p.m. sharp. So even to get to City Hall at 5 p.m. sharp is really difficult for the average person. And then they don't even, we had to talk them into letting us do phone comments as well. For many years, I was bugging them, can you at least let us do some virtual comments? They won't allow us to do video, but they'll now allow us to do it by phone. They will not allow us to comment on agenda items during the meeting. We're only allowed to have that 5 o'clock slot. So
who's they? Who decides this?
I mean, I guess the city commission, because I've brought it up many times. I've done a whole citizen comments about how we need to make it easier for participate, and they just shoot everything down. Oh, well, people never show up anyway, so we don't need to do it.
Huh.
Kat, you obviously are very passionate about the environment. That's how we met. Can you talk about some of the initiatives that you would be pushing for if you were able to become mayor.
I have a good idea.
So very often when you are the mayor, you're dealing with a lot of the local stuff. They always joke, that you're fixing potholes and streetlights and things like that. But I do think that there is a number of things that obviously are of considerable importance, especially when it comes to the dredging of the mangroves and things like that. So what are some of the things that you would be focused on in that position?
Yeah, so for like the past 6 years, I've been working on environmental legislation, local, state, and federal levels. And I'm in the environmental world, even the things that I don't necessarily work on as campaigns for my job, I hear about on conservation coalition calls and things like that. And I really don't think that we're adequately preparing for sea level rise and stronger storms and, climate change. We've only planted one tiny little new dune on the beach. Most of our central beach is completely unprotected. We're throwing all this sand on it and spending money to throw all this sand on it, and storms, it just gets washed away. And I mean, dunes, we should all know the importance of dunes by now. And the fact that we've wasted so many years not planting new dunes is just, it's unconscionable. So, obviously preparing the barrier island for sea level rise and development is part of that. I mean, why are we going to pack on all this population density in a place that's a mandatory hurricane evacuation zone? So preparing our city for sea level rise and storms. Flooding is a huge issue in Hollywood. I mean, the April rains crushed us, and we flooded in places we had never flooded before. So they're paying for this huge stormwater master plan. I think we're right about to adopt this big stormwater master plan, making sure that we follow it, we prioritize it, we're dedicating the funds towards it, because I've seen the city pay for these consultants to have these master plans, whether it be the beach master plan, the dune master plan, and we don't follow them. So what is the point of coming up with this with plans that we don't even follow?
Well, it's to pay consultants. It's so that it's to pay consultants so that consultants can make money. But actually, before I forget, one of my biggest issues that I think is important, that what you're talking about, is municipal rainwater collection. And when I'm sitting here listening to like your flooding and all of these plans, why are we not collecting rainwater? Do you know that like that could be used for like 60-70% of our gray water usage, not to mention that there actually are systems where you can even get it to where it's drinkable. So like when we have the flooding that we do, no one seems to be taking initiative on any of that.
Yeah, I mean, all of that definitely needs to be looked at. I know even just like rain barrels are just like a simple thing that we can do at our own homes. And when I was on the city's sustainability advisory committee, they did like a whole workshop on rain barrels and things like that. But I see a lot of things in the city. Even I do gardening at the Chamber of Commerce, like a native garden project over there, and I see the way the storm drains kind of dump right into the parking lot and down the storm drain instead of going, to be reused. So those things definitely need to be looked at. I mean, all around the city, just, there's so many things that could be working better, on our swales and things. There are a lot of things that we do that are counterproductive too. So it's, you create a swale one place, but then you're paving over the golf course on another spot. So we need to make sure that we're not being counterproductive.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.